Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this tweet here from, of course, the LG Art Lab. So they actually put out a nice little graphic with LG and Hedera together, and they actually put out a tweet saying Hedera Hashgraph keeps pushing the boundaries in the crypto world. Their continuous innovation, like using Hashgraph technology for speed and security, is changing the game. With eco-friendly consensus and DLT tech, they're revolutionizing the industry. LG Electronics is a proud part of the exceptional Hedera Governing Council, with plans to accelerate innovation and adoption of public DLT globally. Now, beyond this, as we really kind of look at Hedera today, one of the biggest things that I have constantly said is, far too many people right now are looking at the price action. I think right now, it's not an idea of looking at price. It's an idea of accumulating while we still have a chance under, certain levels, right? Like, for example, one of the biggest things to me was, all right, if we see under 5 cents on Hbar, I'm a big buyer. I will buy until we are out of the 5 cent zone. Now it's more so, why not just buy as much as we possibly can on 10 cents? Because listen, if it goes to worst case scenario, just 50 cents, that's still a 5x. Worst case scenario goes to $1, that's still a 10x opportunity. Right now is not the time to be playing games with our bags, right? And it's definitely not the time to be thinking, oh, well, I'll just buy lower. What if lower doesn't come? What if this whole market just says, hey, guess what? We're pumping. We're going. Because market makers are the ones that make this market, right? Beyond that, they don't care about your lower buy orders. They don't care about you wanting lower. See, greed works both ways. Sometimes we want prices to go higher, but there's also times where we want prices to go lower. And that's why I say, you never know when we are going to, begin the next bull run. You never know when, things are going to start. We have a great time frame, the 4-year cycle and all of that. But beyond that, things can happen very fast in this market. And as we look at Hedera, they are already starting their big push. One of the biggest things that we recently seen this year was the launch of the stablecoin studio. That was the big one. We were talking about that quite a bit, and we're actually going to be addressing it in this video because we actually have an in-depth view on adoption and also use of that studio. One thing that I will say right now is account growth. Accounts on Hedera are growing rapidly. Right now, we actually are looking at the 1-month time frame here. Check this out. Active accounts, 91,000. Total accounts, 3.71 million. Created accounts in just 1 month, 350,000. 1 week, 31,116 active accounts, 3.71 million total accounts, and 5,356 created accounts. And here we have 1 day. Active accounts nearing 5,000, created accounts nearing 400. Now, let's actually look at this from the year to date. Year to date is very interesting. I don't even care about transactions. We're nearing 22 billion. I don't care. I look at this. Active accounts 1.15 million. Created accounts 2.31 million. Accounts on Hedera are growing rapidly. This means the community is growing. This means engagement around the community is growing as well. And we're actually kind of seeing that right now. Shout out to DCENT. We see here, we have reached 40,000 active NFT listings and 16,000 unique Hedera wallets on our mainnet, or on their market, sorry. What a year it's been. Thanks to everyone that has made this possible. And check this out. This is the type of growth we are witnessing right now on Hedera during a bear market, mind you. This is very significant. And these are the things that are really kind of boasting a lot of the transactional demand that we see right now on the network. Beyond this, right? TVL. TVL has been a big thing that I've been focused on heavily for a while. And if we actually go back to the beginning of the year, we've seen TVL drop off a little bit. So this was the beginning of the year. So December 30th, we'll just go off of the 1st. January 1st, 2023, we've seen about $74.32 million worth of TVL. And yes, remember, a lot of this is still in USD amount. A lot of it could be tied back to tokens. A lot of it could be tied back to anything. Even if you're looking at this in terms of HBAR, right? So here's HBAR rather than the US dollar. Even here, we actually see how this has dropped off a little bit. So let's go to January 1st. Here we have it. So this is, let me go back a little bit more. So here we have it. So here is January 1st back here. So roughly almost 2 billion HBAR. And if you actually look here, right, we have dropped off quite a bit. But now it's starting to pick back up and we're over 1 billion HBAR yet again, locked away in TVL. Dan Reed's Finance actually put out a great report on this, and he said Hedera's TVL has increased quarter over quarter and year over year. TVL is the total value of crypto assets locked in a protocol. TVL is a good barometer to measure the health of a DeFi project and network's entire DeFi ecosystem. HBAR will continue to see further DeFi adoption as the network grows. And here we actually have Hedera concluded that quarter 3 of 2023 with a TVL of 31 million, marking a 29% increase from the previous quarter. Hedera's year-over-year TVL growth stands at 75%, which surpasses the broader market, which has seen a reduction during the same time frame. TVL acts as an effective barometer for the health of a DeFi protocol. Now, when we go back to DeFi Llama, right? I'm looking at the whole chart here. One thing that I've noticed, and like I said, going back to the actual report here, if we look back at the beginning, TVL really kind of started to spike heavily, and this could have been utilizing a lot of the decentralized exchanges for some lucrative APY, and it could also be the fact that, you know, Saucer Swap launched during the summer. Actually, I think that this big spike here in the middle of August was Saucer Swap actually launching. But beyond that, we started to see some very big spikes here. I mean, we almost seen 1 billion total HBAR added into TVL. And again, yes, things are going to drop off a little bit, especially during a bear market. But I do think that going back to the sentiment report here, like as we look at active wallets and things like that really kind of skyrocketing, I also think that DeFi, TVL on Hedera is also going to start to skyrocket as well. We still need a large portion of the retail sector to flood back in, and we're still waiting on that. Interest rate now still around crypto, even though things are starting to move a little bit, is still at all-time lows. So when we really kind of look at this, right, I'm guessing and estimating that we could possibly see anywhere between 2.5 to 5 billion HBAR locked away in TVL going into the next major cycle. And that's not crazy to think about, considering the fact that some of these DeFi protocols, even for example, like Ethereum, have tons and tons of value locked away in TVL. And the main reason why I say this is because of stablecoins. Right, like stablecoin initiatives on a lot of these networks are a big move. We could actually see the value of stablecoins on some of these networks. Like Ethereum is boasting over almost $6 billion worth of stables on the actual network. That's also why stablecoins are a big driver of TVL and also DeFi initiatives on these networks. Obviously, they're not going to account for the large amount of TVL, but they do play a vital role. That's also what gets me very excited about Hedera, right? Because as we look at the stablecoin studio, we recently started to talk about it heavily on the channel simply because I do think that this is going to be a game changer. I also think that this is a major gateway for adoption of Hedera through some major initiatives. And even Hashport Network has been very vocal about this. And they even said like one of the most exciting announcements this quarter for the HBAR community is the launch of Hedera Stablecoin Studio. The Hashport Pro Axiom Oracle is proud to be a key infrastructure that enables proof of reserves by WorldPay Global. And we actually see down here that as the open source stablecoin solution develops more enterprise use cases, we are proud to be the infrastructure providers for Hedera Stablecoin Studio alongside Archaea and our validator BCW. Brady did a great insight onto this, and he's actually utilizing Metrica here. Now, shout out to BM Gentile over on Twitter. we actually see after the successful launch of the stablecoin studio on Hedera, I've put together an adoption/usage tracking dashboard. This is for the testnet and the mainnet. It's coming soon. Ultimate goal is to make these dashboards publicly available to the community. And he actually gave us a little bit of an in-depth view on the stablecoin studio token. So first off, there's over 1,368 tokens right now. We could actually see the growth here as well. It's a very large amount of growth. We're talking about from like the middle of September to now. So just in 1 month, this has gone from practically 0 to over 1,400 tokens almost. Stablecoin studio tokens created daily. We also see this being a big number. Then also down here, stablecoin studio transactions and holders. Check this out. So we actually can see the total token transfer, token creates, token mints, token burned. And we could also see this stablecoin studio transactions daily as well. And then we have the token studio holders, not too much there, almost 170. Studio contracts created, and then also studio contract transactions. So this is actually very, very incredible to see, right? Like, I think that transparency on Hedera is probably one of the most incredible things that we could ever see from a crypto network. But I think that this is going to be a great narrative to play off of and actually look into as we start to see this blossom more and more. Because again, this is enterprise adoption, just like Hashport is saying over here. Like, this truly is the infrastructure for enterprises to tap into stablecoin initiatives through the studio. And I think that this is going to be a big driver of adoption. I mean, we already know that some major players like PayPal, for example, are already tapped in with stablecoins. And I think that this is going to be a trend that only grows from here on out, especially considering the fact that we know that stablecoins are doing trillions of dollars worth of transactions per year, even during bear markets. Like 2022, we've seen stablecoins accounting for over $1 trillion plus. So I think that this is going to be great, and I think that's going to be big for Hedera. And like I said, we know that Ethereum is boasting over almost $6 billion worth of stablecoins on the network. And we know that this is no joke, and we also know that this is a big metric. We also know that it could drive a lot of value behind these networks, like, for example, Ethereum. So I think that this is great for Hedera, and this is also why I say, like, Hedera is changing the game, and you need to pay attention to the adoption of Hedera as well. They have been growing rapidly. I've been talking about it heavily in the past, and even, you guys know me. I love Hedera. I always have. I think that they are an absolute game changer for this entire space, and I think that they are going to be a dominant force in the next major cycle. And I also think that even today, Hedera is probably still extremely overlooked. We know that this market is still very, very early. We also know that there's not a lot of interest behind crypto right now. When we start to see the retail flood coming back in, I think that a lot of these tokens like Hedera are going to start to see major growth, not just from value-wise, but also from adoption-wise as well. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.